Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a chatty haul video, a video in which I just sort of chat through the books that I've acquired recently and talk a little bit. It's going to be a bit meandering, it's going to be a bit about life, what's going on with me this summer, and yeah, so if you like this kind of video, this very much like, hi, hang out with me, go do some other things while I'm playing in the background kind of vibe. If this is your kind of thing, and I'm gonna be getting ready while I do that, because usually I enjoy getting myself ready, polishing myself up a tiny bit. Very much the vibe of my channel. Did I say my name was Shelly? That's the vibe of my channel too. I just kind of chat, forget to tell you who I am, though I'm sure most of you already know who I am. I'm gonna stop and just say, if you are liking this vibe, then I would encourage you to subscribe. And without any further mess, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. Let me give you some context as to what's going on right now. This room that I sit and chat with you all in, I'm also putting on some tinted moisturizer. This room that I'm sitting in, which I usually chat with you and I keep all of my bookish things, it's a little space in the house. It's the guest room in the house that I use to just be my little book room. And in this room, I just love making videos, and my books are everywhere, and it's kind of like a room of my own, if you will. However, I do give up this space when we actually have guests. And we have some guests coming in, some honored guests. My parents, who should have been here 2 days ago. So, their flight, my parents live in California, I live in South Carolina. And we were all supposed to, they were supposed to arrive on Tuesday afternoon, basically. Today is Thursday, and they are still not here. They will be here today. They were boarding. They had their flight delayed due to some stormy weather. I believe the stormy weather was in Chicago, so like the northern center of the U.S. And they get to Chicago, and their flight is delayed again from Chicago to South Carolina. It's delayed again for like 24 hours. So again, they were supposed to be here like 48 hours ago. In this space, like, I transformed it so for their stay. And so, you're getting me at a bit of a weird angle, or a different angle. Not really weird, but it's a different angle. And yeah, we've just sort of spent our life sort of hurry up and wait almost. That feeling of hurry up and wait for the last 2 days. Meanwhile, I've actually been busy with other little projects, very little, like teeny tiny little baby projects. One of which is our local church wanted a videographer. What in the world? I am no videographer. My kids are just playing, by the way, so interruption number 1. I think I was at the part in my life where I was asked to be the videographer for our church. And that was, it's been really for their vacation Bible school. A week in which children have lots of fun and they play. And so every evening, the events are happening in the evening. So every single evening this week, gosh, I am not someone who does well being outside of my routine. I love my routine. I love it, which means that I am in pajamas between 7 and 8 p.m. I am reading between 7 and 8 p.m. and I am curling up, doing my thing between that time. Like, I'm winding down. I have been watching The West Wing, which has been really fun. And I've been doing that, to help me get kind of sleepy. And then again, I go back to, after I watch my one episode, if I make it through, go to the bed, curl up, and read until I go to sleep. Like, that is the vibe of my life. By 7, I am like winding down. So, as I have been asked very kindly by church leadership to help, create a video about what Vacation Bible School has been all about, I have not been getting home until like 8:30, 8:45. And this hasn't been going on very long, but I am just so out of my routine. This is just not the vibe of my life. I have no idea what my kids will be like when they are teenagers, but I'm gonna be curled up in bed by between 8 and 9. I don't know. I just like my sleep. I like my routine. I just like my routine. So this whole week I've been sort of thrown off a little bit because I've been doing this volunteering. And the volunteering's been lovely. I've been around lovely people, awesome kids. Like, that's all been good. The only thing I don't like is that my routine has been disrupted. Woe is me, my routine. And so now my parents are coming into town, and I'm so glad to have them here. And hopefully I can like get into a little routine with them because, I'm a routine-oriented girl. Gosh, I feel like first world problems right here. Maybe you all will be feeling me, like, I just don't know. You busy people in the world, you people who are always busy, like, how do you do it? I commend you. How though? I'm like, you asked me to stay up until like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, you want me to do what? Let me get this face into like a spot that I like it, and then we will get to some of the books that I was actually sent. I'll get to that in just a second. I bought very few of these books. So yeah, this is a gift haul, a haul from a friend. And again, I'll be right back. Let me just get some stuff going on with this face, and then I will be back. I really want a strong lip, and so I'm going to actually start with that. All right, shall we get into the books? Okay, first up, I bought a book, and I honestly cannot tell you. I cannot tell you why I bought it. It's John Gardner. If you know anything about this book, will you let me know? It is, I'll show you. I love the cover, though. And I like the illustrations inside. I feel like I heard someone talking about this on Booktube, okay? Like, that's where I'm at with this. This is John Gardner's Grendel, which is going to be based off of, Beowulf, of course. And this is how it starts. The old ram stands looking down over rock slides, stupidly triumphant. I blink. I stare in horror. Scat! I hiss. Go back to your cave. Go back to your cowshed. Whatever. He cocks his head like an elderly, slow-witted king, considers the angles, decides to ignore me. I stamp. I hammer the ground with my fists. I hurl the skull-sized stone at him. Oh, I hurl a skull-sized stone at him. He will not budge. I shake my 2 hairy fists at the sky. I let out a howl so unspeakable that the water at my feet turns to ice. And even I, myself, am left uneasy. Interesting. I don't know much about this. This was illustrated by Emil Antonucci. And this was first printed in 1971. Again, I don't know much about it, but I feel like I've heard about it. I don't know. I like the way that it started, though. I'm intrigued. It's a little book, only about 173 pages. So who knows? Maybe I'll be picking this up sooner rather than later. These are my final, I swear those will be printed on my tombstone. She will be picking up this book sooner rather than later. Anyways, so I bought this book at a library book sale, and it's one of the 2 books that I have purchased in this haul. So there's this. Shall we do something else to this face? Add a little more something before I move on. All right, the next book I bought was because I read Josephine Tey's Daughter of Time, which was all about Richard III. And it really dove into the question, is he this tyrant, or was he actually a very humane king? who's to say, you know, who's to say, who's controlling the narrative is essentially what Tay, I think, was asking. And so I was like, oh, you know, when I was reading it, all of a sudden I'm like very interested in the Plantagenets, which I've never been interested in before. The War of the Roses, that time period, like pre-Tudor time period. And so I heard from my friend Anita, who will feature very heavily in this haul because she gifted me the rest of the books I'm going to show you besides the one that I'm holding in my hand. And she was talking about Sun and Splendor by Sharon K. Penman. This is supposed to be like the Richard III novel. Sharon K. Penman was an absolutely, I think, from what I know, Sharon K. Penman was like the author in her day, historical fiction author in her day, writing about the Plantagenets and I think the Tudors. So I bought this secondhand, and this is how, we have, very cool, very cool. We have a family tree, Love that, love that. And then let's think, so it's book 1, Edward Ludlow, September 1459. This is how it starts. Richard did not become frightened until darkness began to settle over the woods. In the fading light, the trees began to take on unfamiliar and menacing shapes. There was movement in the shadows. Low-hanging branches bared his path. Rain-sodden leaves trailed wetly across his cheek. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're already getting a lot of description. But yeah, this is a chunkster. This is like a 900 and some odd page book. And we have kind of relatively small font in here. And so it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a journey with this book is what I'm trying to say. You know, this isn't one of those like generous margins, generous font size, and then happens to be 900 pages. No, this is like a densely worded 900 page read. So that's what I have in my hand right now. Shall we do a little eyeshadow? A little bit of eyeshadow? Just get these eyes sparkling a little bit. Let me put on eye primer. I'll talk about another book and then we'll go in with eyeshadow. Just like, this is kind of the messy version of getting ready in the morning. I'm like, I care how I look, but I don't care how I look. You get me? Like, I care how I look, but I don't want to tell the whole world that I care that I look, you know, about how I look. I care about how what was coming out of my mouth? I care about how I look, but I don't want the whole world to be like, she really cares about how she looks. So it's kind of like this, an imprecise moment over here. Let's get back to the books, shall we? Because I feel like I'm just in a really silly mood. I don't know. Could it be all those long nights, hanging out with kids in the evening? Who's to say? I'm just kind of thrown off today. Okay, the next book, actually the rest of the books were gifted to me by my sweet, lovely friend, Anita, who told me about Sun and Splendor. She is a dear friend. I talk to her just about every day. We go on and on about books. I mean, she is just a shining light in my life, okay? Not just. She is a shining light in my life and has added so much to my life. I mean, just to have someone to talk books with is a joy, but she's a joy in so many more ways than just the bookish chalk. I'm gonna stop gushing about my friend Anita. And the book that came about that actually got her to put a package together to show, you know, to send to me, and then she threw in other books. The book that I was talking about that I wanted to buy, and then she was like, don't buy it, I have that book, I'll send it to you. It is Through a Glass Darkly. Now this, actually, I realized I have another book that someone sent to me. So truly a gifted haul over here. Through a Glass Darkly. So I heard about this from Steve Donahue. He said it was a fantabulous, amazing, fantastic read. And then I spotted it on a shelf at a friend's house in real life. And I was like, oh, you have Through a Glass Darkly. And I guess there's a whole series to this. And it's by Kathleen Cohen. And it's supposed to be great, okay? It's supposed to be great. This is what it's about. It's set in the 18th century. So, Barbara Adderley has loved her husband, the wealthy, charming Earl of Devane. Roger Montgomery, I think, has loved Roger Montgomery since childhood. Set against the French court, awash in intrigue, treachery, and debauchery, Deborah has learned to navigate the dark currents of deception, scandal, and betrayal. Sounds like a dramatic read if I ever did hear one myself. This is how it starts. Two voices raised in anger carry through the half-open window of the library. Set in the library, I love that already. Recognizing them, Barbara stopped and looked for a place to hide. A place where she might listen but not be seen. Oh, scandal already! We're only 2 sentences in! I love it. Thank you, Anita, for sending me all these books, but I'm clearly very excited about this one. Okay, it's eyeshadow time, y'all. It's eyeshadow time. I have this very cute little Pat McGrath palette. Maybe that is just like ancient foreign language to y'all, but for some of you, you might know Pat McGrath. You know, I treated myself. It was on sale, and it's been really fun actually to play with these sparkly eyeshadows. All right, telegraphing polish, but not trying too hard. That's what we're doing over here, okay? Telegraphing polish. Here's what needs to happen. I need to change my battery pack, refill my coffee cup, and I will be right back with probably a slightly different angle, and then we'll talk about the rest of the books that I bought while also finishing this makeup look off. The next book from Anita is Barbara Kingsolver's The Lacuna? I have no idea. Of course, you all know that I absolutely adored the Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. Such a good book. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. Loved it so much. And then now I have her other Women's Prize winning book, The Lacuna, and I have no clue what this is about. So, born in the United States, reared in a series of provisional households in Mexico, from a coastal island jungle to 1930s Mexico City, Harrison Shepherd finds precarious shelter but no sense of home on his thrilling odyssey. So do we have, okay, so maybe another young man coming of age story. I am not mad about that. She did such a good job with Mr. Demon. Love him so much. Love him so much. I feel like I'm not in the center. Okay, this is how it starts. Mexico, 1929. In the beginning were the howlers. They always commence their bellowing in the first hour of dawn, just as the hem of the sky began to whiten. It would start with just one, his force rhythmic groaning like a saw blade that aroused the others near him, nudging them to bawl along with his monstrous tune. Oh, okay, well, quite the opening. But yeah, I'm excited to have this in my hands. This is another chunkster. I've realized this year I have read so many mammoths. Actually, this is kind of a chunkster in hiding. Like, this is actually not as thick. This is not as big as you would think. Like, I would think maybe this is 600 pages. Maybe I'm just not very good at estimation. This is under 500 pages, so actually not quite as big as I originally had anticipated. Oh yeah, Through a Glass Darkly is like 670 pages. So we just have big books over here. All right, should I do a little mascara, huh? So I don't look like I have little baby bird eyes, little newborn baby bird eyes. I think I'm just about ready. I'm just about done. All right, so the next book I have is Margaret Walker's Jubilee, again from Anita. And this is, so this is, I have no idea. I'll read the back. Let me read the back. Jubilee tells the true story of Veery, the child of a white plantation owner and his black mistress. Veery bears witness to the South's antebellum's opulence and to its brutality, its wartime ruin, and its promises of reconstruction. Weaving her own family's oral history with 30 years of research, Margaret Walker's novel brings the everyday experiences of slaves to light. That sounds really good. Really, really good. So this is the 50th anniversary of this book. Let me see when it was originally published. Ooh, originally published in 1966. This looks delightful. Okay. I've never even heard of it before, but it sounds amazing. Next up. Next up. Why do I keep saying next up? Next up, I have a book that really needs no introduction, but I will introduce it anyways. It is The Seven Moons of Molly Alameda. Wow, actually, I can't believe I have a copy of this in my hands. This is by Shihan Kuntrin Talaka? Kuntru Tilaka? I think I did that right. Okay. This, of course, this is a book that won the Booker last year. It is told in second person. It is about a Sri Lankan photographer who dies and is sent to the underworld, or kind of in this purgatory middle world type of place. And he has 7 days to make things right in his life before moving on to the next world, whatever that may be. So I've heard, I don't know, I don't know about this novel. Wow. I mean, it's one of those books where I'm just not sure about it because it is told in second person. I haven't read anything. I've read hardly anything told in second person, one. Two, I feel kind of mixed about it because I don't know. The only other book that I know is told in second person is the N.K. Jemisin book. I don't even know. I've never read it though. Anyways, I'm just not sure. I'm like hesitantly excited about this, okay? If you've read it and you loved it, I know a lot of you have. I'm sure a lot of you have because it did win the Booker. Then will you tell me about it? I'm just unsure about it. I wouldn't mind giving it a go and just seeing what I think about it. I just don't know, okay? I just don't know. The cover is pretty amazing though. Look at that. Look at that cover. That's gorgeous. Okay, another cover that I just love. I love it so much. I love it so much. And I have never read anything by this author. I actually thought this author was a man, which probably says something about the way that we genderize names and my sensibilities and such. But it's actually Curtis Settenfield's Rodham, and I think this is a ridiculously stunning cover. I love this cover. This cover is amazing. Like, I love it so much. Yeah, I'm in love with it. So I've not read anything by Curtis Settenfield, but what this is it tells the story of Hillary Rodham Clinton. Now I feel like my white balance is all off. Okay, it's telling the story of Hillary Rodham Clinton, but an alternate history, as if telling the story if she didn't marry Bill Clinton and what her life might have been like. Anita read this, my friend Fraser read this, they both liked it. A solid read. And I think it'll be a great introduction to Settenfield's writing. Settenfield is also having a moment right now because she had a book released called Romantic Comedy, and I've heard really good things about it. I heard it's like the literary alternative, or like a more literary alternative, a more sort of crafted and artistic version of like what Emily Henry's books are serving up. So, and that description really tickles my fancy, if you will. My books fell. Oh well. The last book that was sent to me by my dear friend Sandy at the channel Miss Reads a Lot. I will leave her channel link down below. She's amazing. I will also, whenever I mention anyone, I try and link them so that you all can find other amazing bookish people out there. But the book that she sent me was Eating to Extinction by Dan Saladino. The reason why she sent it to me is because she had to read it for the Booktube Prize when she was judging the Booktube Prize, and then I was assigned this for my Booktube Prize reading. Booktube Prize is a literary prize judged by content creators and online bookish people that want to volunteer to judge. And this was one of the books that was assigned to me. I have thumbed through it and I've read a teeny tiny bit, but I haven't sunk my teeth into it, if you will. Yeah, I haven't like started this in earnest or anything, but I'm so grateful that she sent me a copy. It was just so kind of her. And I just have incredible friends. One of the, not for the free books, like really it's for the fact that I'm connecting with people that have the exact same passion that I have. And I'm just ever so grateful. I'm ever so grateful of just being able to interact with bookish people, whether it be through the screen, through the comments that you all leave me, through emails or messages, or the books that are sent. I just, and I love sending books as well. Like I send a lot of books out, I receive a lot of books, and it's just been such a wonderful exchange of wonderful and positive exchanges of communication and friendship through the bookish community, and that's what it's all about, right? So it's just been incredible. So anyways, that is my haul. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know what you've picked up recently. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, so without any kind of continuing on, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am just ever so grateful about that. And that's it. So I will see you all in my next one. Bye.